Hello everyone! Okay, I'm trying out like a new little angle here and I have literally the smallest thing holding this up, so let's just hope this works. But hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Courtney. If you're new here, we talk about astrology, spirituality, basically anything that I'm going through in my head. I want to share like spiritual lifestyle stuff. So basically my life. This is what this YouTube channel is all about. If you guys aren't following me over on Instagram, definitely come check me out over there. I have at iamcourtburns, which is my personal Instagram, which I basically talk about whatever there daily. I have TikTok, which is also iamcourtburns. And if you want to listen to my podcast, I have at Saturn Return Diaries. It's coming back soon, season 2. And if you want to follow my business page, which is all about astrology, it's at Bravely Beautiful Brand. I am a manifesting generator. I have a lot of things, okay? I'm living in my profile. If you guys don't know what a manifesting generator is, sucks to be you. Anyway, so let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about the eclipses because as I'm filming this, we are gliding our way in like a DM slide into eclipse season. And what does that mean? All my Patreon people, you already know because I did do an eclipse season video over there. But for YouTube, let's talk about this. So for those of you who don't know, eclipse season happens twice a year. We go through these phases and these cycles where the eclipses are here and everyone's like, oh my God, what do I do? Am I scared? Do I manifest? What do I do? And it's like this time, a portal of energy where we are feeling the effects of the new and full moons that are on the nodes. So the eclipses always happen on the south and north, the north and south node. Now, the reason why that happens is, I don't actually really know the reason why, but it just happens. And they happen April into May. And then again, we have one from October, November, which will be this year. That's where those eclipses are happening. So sometimes they change. It totally depends on the season and the sign that they're in, but they do happen twice a year. So first eclipses that we are going to experience during this round or this year in 2022 is April 30th of 2022. The moon will be in the sign of Cancer, sun will be in Cancer, causing a new moon partial solar eclipse. Now, basically that means new moon on steroids, just so y'all know. And I see eclipses as, I'm going to use my surfing reference. If anyone out there surfs, hit me up, especially if you're a guy and you're looking for a girlfriend. Kidding, not really. But anyway, I'm gonna use a surfing reference. I do love surfing. I'm not a professional by any means. I've only gotten up a few times, but I do really like it. It's enjoyable being in the water. And the thing that is really like the metaphor of surfing is it's like you have to be patient. You have to know the information. You have to know when to act to pop up on your board. So there's this intuitive feeling, and that's sort of what happens with the eclipses. It's like the preparation has been done all the work needed, and then it's like you're just sitting in the ocean. And if you've ever experienced that feeling of like feet dangling off of your board and you're just like staring at the sunset, for example, probably not the best time to be surfing if there's sharks. But that feels really good. It's super liberating, and it's like, okay, then you're realizing here comes a wave and you're gonna get ready to catch that wave. And that's what the eclipse season is. So you get to ride that wave to shore. Now, there's also gonna be tests during eclipse to kind of see where you're at, test what you say you want, check in with sort of yourself during eclipse season and be like, you might be getting a lot of opportunities, but it's like, which one do you want? What do you want? You're communicating with the universe with your behavior and what you say yes and no to during eclipse season. And when you say no to the things that you don't want and you say yes to the things you do want, that wave is coming in and you are gonna ride that wave like the momentum that you know you can have, right? Hang it loose. Anyway, very weird. So that's what the eclipses are sort of like. Now, of course, people feel scared during eclipses because there is a lack of control. Newsflash, we never have control as human beings. But what I will also say to this is that we always have the ability to co-create. So for example, if you're someone that's like, maybe your nervous system is feeling a little off and you're like not ready to make a leap or a jump, obviously you still have the ability to like say no and hang back in your comfort zone. Even though that's what the eclipses want you to move out of, you still have that ability. It's just giving you an opportunity to move towards a direction that aligns with your destiny, which is, yes, outside of your comfort zone. So if you use it and if you get that bravery pack on and say, okay, I'm gonna ride this wave to shore, even though I'm scared, and do the work associated with it, then you're gonna change your life. That's what eclipses do. So the first eclipse that we're gonna have is on April 30th, and it's in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus rules things like our stability, our environment, environment, our resources, our world, the physical manifestation. So this eclipse and this new moon has a lot of supportive aspects. Jupiter's involved. Obviously, there is also Uranus, which is very close to this new moon. It's in conjunction, and this energy is quite potent, and it can bring things out of nowhere. So yeah, on one hand, when you actually like get your mind involved, that sounds a little bit scary. But what if the opportunity was to look at that and say like, oh my God, there can be some amazing blessings and abundance coming through here that I've been waiting for so long, and now it's like finally blooming. So that's sort of this energy, right? If we know that Taurus is like stop and smell the roses and allowing things to grow at a natural pace, it's like that mama empress energy waiting for the baby to be born, and when it's here you're like, oh my gosh. Of course there's turbulence in birth. Another great analogy for eclipse season. So once we go from that eclipse, we are then going to go into the eclipse in May, and the eclipse in May is all about Scorpio. So this one is definitely going to be more intense. They're in a pairing, right? So we have complete opposites. First, we have the eclipse that's in Taurus, which is that rooted, grounded energy, which is all on the surface. And then the next one, which comes a couple weeks later, May 16th, is in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio is deep. It is the bottom of the ocean. It is bringing things up from the depth and exposing them and bringing them out. So all of those shadow things that we tend to hide from or push under the rug or talk about taboo subjects, that is Scorpio. It has to do with like our deep inner knowing and intuition and all the occulty mystical things as well. Yes, finances, taxes, money, debt, inheritances, all of those things can also be associated with that scorpionic energy, and that is where the eclipse in the lunar eclipse is going to happen. So normally when we have a new moon, the energy kind of feels a little bit lighter or more inward or yin, and when we have a full moon it's a little bit bigger, and that is definitely going to happen with that moon. That it is going to purge out a lot of old shit that is not aligned with what it is that you want to do or go towards in your future. So yeah, I feel like that one is going to be a little bit tricky, and I by no means am I someone that will ever sugarcoat anything. I also think it's important to be mindful of like stepping into fear and like fantasizing fear, and like we don't want to do that, and we also don't want to like escape to be like everything's going to be fine. So finding the balance and understanding that like there is going to be a yin and yang energy with absolutely everything. Scorpio does ask us to confront our fears, so that could also come up under that eclipse, which is middle of May. So what does this look like on the greater scale for the entire collective? Something I'm picking up on is that this has the opportunity to really remove manipulation and tactics around the world that are really coming from a place of power-hungry authority figures, exposing the truth of situations that maybe we haven't seen before or we have known about, but now they're out in the open. And because Mercury is going to be retrograde, there might be things that kind of come up that we're like, oh yeah, like we have to revisit that in order to move forward. There's an integration process. So I think the best way to work with that May 16th full moon is like allow what wants to go. Like it might be time to let something go. It might be time to move on from there. It might be closing up the chapter, and that can be tricky, but it can also be so beautiful because you know a new beginning is starting. I want to share a little like a little eclipse story just to kind of give you guys some perspective and something I was reflecting on, because no, not all eclipses are going to be scary. Of course, when they're in a sign like Scorpio, there's going to be an intensity to it, and I'm a little bit like because I have my Pluto in Scorpio and my moon, so definitely a little like you know, I'm not trying to lie here, but I was also reflecting and I'm like, okay, this is interesting because I moved into this place when it was an eclipse, and something that a lot of people say is like, don't move into a place, don't sign any contracts, like don't like do anything, and it's like, you know what, the eclipses can bring your manifestations to you, and I was manifesting this place. I was fully manifesting this place, okay? So what happened? I'll tell you what happened. I took aligned action prior to the eclipses. It was like a month prior, actually, I think. And yeah, I can't remember exactly what the timeline was, but I remember that basically the North Node was in Cancer and the South Node was in Capricorn, which is my nodal reversal. I can do a different video on that for another time, but I was going through something right before my Saturn return. Now, the North Node being in Cancer was where the eclipse was, and I moved in here, and it was asking me to move move towards a space of home, like feeling a sense of safety and security. And also it had a lot to do with things that had to do with love, which I'll get to that in a second, but because it's in my 5th house. So there was this like kind of energy of like coming back home, feeling the desires of home. What does home mean? What do I want to feel like in my home? And I took a line to action. So I actually moved out of the place that didn't feel like it resonated anymore after the universe was like throwing pebbles at my face, literally boom. And finally I moved. And then I took a leap and was like, okay, I'm gonna go and stay. This person offered me to stay in their home, watch their cats, and it was like $500. I was like, great, that's perfect. That'll give me time to manifest this new place. And I focused all my energy during that time of really like getting quiet and saying, okay, what is the place that I want to manifest? Allowing my vision to get super clear. I did that. And there was one other place that I had messaged because I was starting to get really scared because I was like, I need to move out soon. Like, what am I going to do? And in that process, I said no. I knew right away that wasn't the house I was supposed to go see. This one popped up immediately. I came here and I was like, saw it with like 10 other people. I was like, there's no way this is going to be mine. And then, so I left. It was like, whatever. Went on a camping trip. I was on my way to the camping trip, which by the way, met someone. I'll come back to that. And on the way to the camping trip, I shit you not, I got the call and was like, Ryan, who's the landlord here, property manager. He's like, yeah, you got it. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to afford this every month. Like, no clue. I just knew that this was my place. Like, I was like, it's done and done. And it happened. On my way to this camp trip, I actually met someone who's very influential in my life. We ended up dating for a little bit. He helped me move in here. And this was all happening on this like North Node eclipse energy. I remember specifically at camp trip, it was the eclipse in Cancer. Like, it was the new moon in Cancer. And so I did a lot of healing around my wounds connected to this. Like, I'm going on a tangent here, but anyway, that Cancer energy was so present and it was really, really hard because it broke me open. But this was the space that really kind of was a catalyst for this. So are eclipses all bad? No. They literally have the opportunity to change your life, bring people in who are going to change your life. That person changed my life. He changed my perspective on men, helped me. He changed my perspective on how I see myself. He helped me change the perspective on, the things that I was kind of working through. Again, like the wounds and insecurities that I had, and allowed me to see it in a completely different way. So what comes to you during an eclipse is a result of the things that you've previously worked on creating in your life and manifesting. And especially with this being in the sign of Taurus, the first one, this is bringing you something that is tangible, it's physical, it's going to be in this reality. So of course we could see things within the world and the environment, and we can get caught up in that for sure. That's going to happen. That's part of Earth where we're here. But there's also this lavish beauty of like, you guys have been through a lot. Allow yourself to receive the gifts of being here on Earth with that first eclipse. Second eclipse, there's going to be some releasing because we're moving on from that story. We're closing that chapter. And in order to do that, we have to move from that, right? And move fully into the next place. So hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you like my little story that went along with it. Let me know in the comments below what you're feeling, what's coming up for you. Again, follow me on TikTok. I've been doing stuff over there about the eclipses, and it's kind of fun to like see where everybody's at and read the comments. But anyway, let me know below how everybody is feeling, and I'm sending you guys so much love. Check in with me after the eclipses, and please let me know what happens for you. Love you guys. Don't forget to go live your dreams, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.